I don't really allocate capital based on what kind of business it is. I look at kind of the nature of the business and, the cash in, cash out, and then take it from there. Question I'm going to go ahead with is the fund appears to have a relatively concentrated set of holdings across sectors like cyclicals, commodities, shipping, and select compounders. How does Mohnish determine the appropriate balance between deep value cyclical opportunities and long term compounders within the portfolio? So, in general, stocks and businesses don't really fall neatly into different buckets. Just like Warren Buffett has said, that value and growth are not mutually exclusive. In fact, all intelligent investing is value investing. And the notion that a cyclical, quote unquote cyclical, is different from a compounder or a cannibal, for example, is also very myopic. So I'll just give you an example just to kind of set the stage of kind of how I think about these things. If we think of a company like, let's say, Saudi Aramco, which is in the news these days, Saudi Aramco, one would in a kind of broad brushstroke say it's a commodity cyclical business, but that actually is an incorrect way to look at the business. It doesn't do justice to it. So Saudi Aramco has been around for many, many decades. Their cost of producing a barrel of oil used to be $1 or $2 a barrel. I think currently all in, it's under $12 a barrel. And they currently produce around 12 million barrels a day, and they could actually bump that higher if they want. And, huge reserves, etc. So if the way I look at a business like Saudi Aramco is a business with an incredibly deep moat, it is a business that has generated more cash in its history than any other business on the planet. And it's likely to continue generating more cash than almost any business one can think of, including the Mag 7 and so on. So when you have a low-cost commodity producer like Saudi Aramco, which is sitting in the bottom quartile, more like bottom 10% of the cost curve, it's very unlikely it's ever going to hit a situation where it's not making money. I mean, if you got a $12 all-in cost to produce oil, it's hard to imagine a situation where you're losing money. And so it is a business that I feel has, variance in cash flows, maybe significant variance in cash flows, but bought at the right price, it can be a tremendous business. And bought at the wrong price, it can be a terrible investment. So I don't really kind of categorize companies in these kind of nice buckets and then make decisions on how we go about allocating and so on. So one of the businesses which I'm going to talk about a little bit later, which kind of dovetails into Saudi Aramco, is Alpha Metallurgical Resources and Warrior Met Coal. Again, people will characterize these as commodities or they'll characterize them as cyclicals, but that's not how I look at them. So if we look at the PLV index, which is a premium low vol met coal index, it's a main index by which met coal is priced, the seaborne trade around the world, it's currently sitting at about $220 per ton. And that $220 per ton price is approximately the average price that index has been at for the last 7 years. But if we were to look at, let's say, take out the COVID period when it actually dropped quite a bit because of all the nuances of COVID, and if you also take into account that we've had a lot of inflation in the world in the last several years, the current PLV 220 price may be close to a floor in terms of the last 5 or 6 years of where it's traded. And also, it's difficult to bring on production in any meaningful quantities, including transportation and so on, below that price. And in fact, at this price, there are plenty of mines in Central Appalachia, et cetera, that are shutting down because they are cash flow negative. At this $220 price, if that price were to just stay at that level for the whole year, Warrior would make more than $550 million of cash flow, and Alpha would make more than $350 million in cash flow. And Alpha has a market cap of under 3 billion, and Warrior has a market cap of under 5 billion. And, those are perfectly fine. So from my point of view, these businesses like Alpha or Warrior that may be with us producing cash, especially in the case of Alpha for 50 to 100 years, in the case of Warrior, maybe 40 to 60 years. And that cash flow may be at the low end, maybe, 100, 200 million, 300 million a year. At the high end could be billions per year. My answer to that is, where do I sign? So I don't really allocate capital based on, what kind of business it is. I look at kind of the nature of the business and, the cash in, cash out, and then take it from there.